Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my art studio. So today I'm going to be going through all of my oil, acrylic and watercolor paintings and showcasing them to you guys as well as talking to them a little bit. Art is something that I've always done. I haven't always painted, but I've always drawn ever since as far back as I can remember. It's something that I don't just do it, and any artist would understand it. I don't just do it because I want to or I enjoy it. I do it because I have to. So starting off with my watercolors, I really like this watercolor. It's probably one of my favorite. It's called Golden Koi of Lisgar. So near my house there are these gardens. They are beautiful. It's like just walking into another world when you go into them. And it's so special to me because I've always moved so much my whole life, and for the first time I'm staying in one location where I can just get to know the scenery around me. And part of that scenery is this beautiful koi pond that's in those gardens, and there's this one fish. And this might sound strange to people, it's a golden koi fish, but like whenever I see it, whenever I go there, I feel something really special. It's just the most beautiful golden koi fish that, yeah, I can't explain. I'm gonna go through these other watercolors quickly. I apologize for the bad frame, but there is a girl. She's a sad girl with beautiful critters on her face. Here's a girl with a whale. I really love whales. But this is a story, story of Jonah. Jonah and the whale. I'm gonna start going through my oils and acrylic paintings now. We've got an acrylic here. I titled this one Wisdom because there's like a wisdomy looking tree and there's a woman and her son, and that's meant to be me and my son. I do have a 5-year-old son who I had when I was 17 years old, by the way. I had him really young, but basically what this painting is the wisdom. It's a wisdom tree, but also just the wisdom of a mother passing down knowledge to the next generation. This one's an oil painting. This one was actually one of my first ever paintings that I did. And it's Afghan girl, and she was on the cover of National Geographic magazine. So I studied psychology. I painted this when I was a first-year psychology student. So I was really passionate about these people in different parts of the world that lived life very differently to mine. And the proportions are not perfect. It was one of my first oil paintings. I've since done another portrait, which I'll show you shortly, which shows my improvement. This one's an acrylic painting. It was a speed painting. I did it very quickly. You can see with the very loose brush strokes, sorry, English. And it's Jesus on the cross. Poem that I wrote along with it. So this one is about repentance. Repentance, what that means is when you're feeling sorry for what you've done and want to turn away from it. It's again Jonah and the whale at a slightly different scene in which the whale has already spit him out and he's washed up on the shore. I think at this point in my life I was feeling like I wasn't living up to my values, to be honest. I was in a situation where I shouldn't have been. It was this sense of knowing that I was running from God. This is one of my favorite paintings here, and it's actually actually one of the paintings that I did early on when I started oil painting. I don't know what I called it. I forgot its name. But here it is. It's a big one. Yeah, so this is a scene in the Bible where Peter is being called out to come on the water. And so long as he keeps his eyes on Jesus, he can walk on water. But the second he takes his eyes off Jesus, he starts to sink. I painted this shortly after I became a Christian. I just felt like I was swimming in doubt. I was sinking in doubt. Like I wanted to believe in God. I wanted to believe he was there and he was real. But every time I looked away from him and heard the things that other people were saying about God and how he's not real, I just felt like I started to sink. And I was sinking in my doubt. But every time I looked back to Jesus, all of those doubts would disappear. This one is called Two Crowns. I really like this one as well. And I remember I told you guys that I improved my portrait skills. And you can see that the proportions in my portrait have improved a lot. The skin tones have improved a lot since I first started. So there she is. Okay. Except my painting of Jesus, the skin tones weren't done as well. And a few people have pointed that out. I did enter this one into an art gallery exhibition, and that was one of the feedback that I received, that she looks absolutely beautiful, but Jesus, he just doesn't look like Jesus. And I really take on constructive feedback, constructive criticism, and really try to apply it. So hopefully in my next painting of Jesus, he'll have rougher edges and not have these very soft edges. But aside from that, I still really do love this painting. So as I said, I studied psychology. I painted this painting when I completed my 4th year of psychology, my honors. Honors in psychology was so full on. It was all about grades. It was all about competition. It was all about who would get into the best masters, who would get accepted to the best university at the end, would get the scholarship so they wouldn't have to pay the full $70,000. It was full on, and I felt like that became my goal. I have to get accepted into the masters with the scholarship, and I could see nothing else but that. And eventually, when I finished my honors year and did my best, I got accepted into 2 universities that I couldn't afford. They weren't the highest ranking universities, and the universities that I needed to get into to be able to complete my master's, I did not get accepted. That absolutely crushed me. Looking back on it now, I just see it as, wow, that's so silly. But at the time, it was everything. It crushed me. I felt defeated. I felt inadequate. I felt like what's wrong with me? Why couldn't I get it? That's everything I wanted, and it's gone. And God really spoke through to me at this time that there was a lot of pride. I was putting all my worth in my achievements. I was being prideful. Had I gotten in, I would have been like, I knew I could do it. And God really had to stop that, which was good. He really humbled me and allowed me to see things in life that really mattered, which are being right in His eyes and who we are in His eyes. And it reminded me of what I'm really striving for is that day in heaven where Jesus says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," and crowns us with a crown of righteousness. And this painting is called Two Crowns as well, because I wanted to contrast the crown He gives us, the crown that He had to wear, the crown of thorns, so that we could have that crown of righteousness in the end. And this is another painting that I really do like. It means a lot. I've always drawn, but I never painted. And shortly after I became a Christian, I felt this new life and love in my heart where I just needed to paint. And I just started painting. And that happened about 5 years ago. So these are all the paintings that have come since then. And please show me your support with a subscribe and like and share as well if you have anyone in your feed that you think may benefit from this video. Anyways, all the best. Catch you guys next time and goodbye.